Hello, my name is Jackson Dietrich, and hopefully through this video you'll learn a little bit more about me and my background, and hopefully I can help some people out and figure out where they want to go in life. So, I'm 21 years old. I am currently a junior down here at Southern Illinois University. I am studying automotive technology. I graduated May of 2019 from East. In high school, I did every auto class St. Charles East offered. I did autos 1, 2, and 3. I also did small engines. And on top of that, I also served both as a member and as an executive board member in the auto club for multiple semesters. Currently, um, I've had a couple of great employment opportunities. In high school, I worked at Reber and Foley for about 4 years in downtown St. Charles. And then during school in the summers, I had jobs at AutoZone in Wheaton. And then I did a 8-month stint with Nissan down in Deckard, Tennessee. I worked at their engine plant, and I was I was a quality assurance intern. So basically, I got to look on the assembly line, learn all the different processes that the engine needs to go through, make sure engines are clean, make sure parts are getting put together correctly, and making sure engines run great. This coming summer, I will be working for Ford Motor Company up in Detroit or virtual. I don't know yet. Gotta love COVID. But in that time, I will be working on the Ford Technical Assistance Hotline. So if you're working at Hawk Ford or Zimmerman or wherever they're calling it nowadays, and you can't figure out a problem, and you call the Technical Assistance Hotline, there's a good chance you're probably going to have to talk to me. So I get to, because of my learning down here at SIU, I get to have those kind of opportunities. So I will kind of go into that later on. Um, so, so my pathway is a little bit different than most people. I grew up in a household, my mom was a guidance counselor. Shout out Mrs. Swenson. Um, and my dad, works for the federal government. So neither of them are very hands-on nor technical. My background: my grandfather was a union electrician for 40 years, and my other grandfather worked as a machinist and overall handyman. So I got to learn from them and how to kind of work with my hands and work through problems, kind of tactilely, I guess, if that's not the right word, but you get what I'm saying. Um, I kind of had to. I was always interested in cars from a very young age, so I kind of got to breed that a little bit and kind of follow my own path. What I found was the auto department at East. Those classes made the most sense to me. I was drawn to it mostly because I did like cars. I liked talking about them, and I found out that through those classes, I liked working with them even better. I liked learning about the industry. Really, it kind of drove me to what I'm doing now at college, because I can't imagine myself in a standard engineering setting or having to take calculus A, B, C, whatever. Honestly, I'm happy that I took auto classes, and that's kind of my pathway. I had to kind of forge my own, but definitely a technical pathway to what I'm doing now. Most impactful thing from high school definitely was taking Autos 1 for the first time. I had no idea what torque specs were. I had no idea how to count cylinders on an engine. Zero clue. I remember walking in knowing, I knew what different cars were. I didn't know the difference between a transverse engine and a longitudinal engine. I didn't know the difference really between. I didn't know how a manual transmission worked. I didn't know how the engine inside worked. Definitely being able to take that first class and learning just basic stuff: oil changes, tire rotations, how to jack up a car, how to jump a car safely. All those basic experiences I use every single day. Heck, I was out in the parking lot yesterday in my house, my apartment here, changing the oil on my truck because I'm not paying Jiffy Lube $35 to do it. I'd rather just do it myself. So definitely Autos 1 was very impactful on getting me here, and also Mr. Stryker in general. Without him, I definitely wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. He's definitely pushed me beyond all means. So is Mrs. Johnson. Definitely have pushed me very, very hard. Some obstacles I definitely faced coming out of high school and coming to where I am today definitely is electric knowledge. Coming out of high school, I tried to avoid everything that involved a circuit. Series parallel, wiring, Ohm's law. I tried to avoid all of that because I didn't get it. I can't. It's hard for some people because you can't touch it. You can't touch electricity. However, I learned obviously with the electric cars coming out and electricity is in everything now. I remember definitely struggling my first semester down here at SIU, but you know once you apply yourself and once you try to find a way to study for yourself, that's kind of what I did. And now I'm tutoring those classes. I'm teaching freshmen who struggled like me. And I'm finding that I'm loving teaching these because it really reinforces it in my mind. Another obstacle that I really faced was just getting adjusted to college life, and kind of getting adjusted to the day-to-day aspects of, mommy and daddy aren't here to tell you, you know, to go do your homework. If I wanted to go out right after class, if I wanted to go to the bars right after class, I can. There's no one stopping me down here. However, it's the fact that I'm paying a lot of money to be here, and I don't want to mess that up with my classes down here. So the biggest obstacle I think for where I'm at now is just forcing yourself to get the work done before you go out and have fun, and taking on extra responsibility. One thing that if I could go back to high school and change, definitely was having a little bit more humility, and taking a step back and realizing that sure, you may know something, but you don't know it all. I definitely thought that I knew more than I did. And I think one thing that I had to learn definitely when I got to college was, sure, I may have been one of the smarter people in my high school autos class. However, when I got here, I was one of the bottom few. I realized that there are kids who know 10 times more than I do, who've been working on cars since before they could talk. So definitely that aspect of humility kind of knocked me back, but it's also a positive thing because I've learned to have that humility and learn to kind of humble myself and realize that nothing is beneath me for me to learn. And obviously, everyone will learn that. I'm sure Mr. S can talk to it too. So definitely that's one thing that was a misstep. One of the rewards for where I'm at now is one being my internship. When I went down to Nissan for my internship, I was granted a brand new car that they let me drive down there. It was a 2022 Nissan Kicks, uh, real little thing, but I didn't have to use my personal car at all. I got to use that car, put as many miles on it. I didn't have to pay for service. The only thing I had to pay for was gas. On top of that, my internship paid very well, and my Ford internship pays even better. If you have questions, I'll drop my email below, not below, or at the end of the video. You can email me, and I'll be happy to talk specifics. But the pay rate is very well. That's one thing that's definitely rewarding for me. Um, Secondly, I think the managerial aspect of where I'm at SIU, being vice president of our auto club down here, I get to help people. I get to kind of direct and make sure all of our projects get done, and all that kind of good stuff. Also, getting to interview with these companies and learning all about the different, jobs and opportunities they have. I've interviewed personally with Toyota, GM, Nissan, Ford, Chrysler, or Stellantis, whatever you want to call them, Cummins MET, which they make batteries, and the big Cummins diesel engines. I'm sure I'm missing one. Penske, Crown Lift Trucks, and Southeast Toyota, which is a group of Toyota distributors down in Georgia and Florida. And through all these, I get to meet these super cool people who I get to kind of contact and build relationships and network. And definitely, that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed and gone through. What I'm aspiring to, essentially, in 5 years, I hope to be working in a factory or teaching, one of the two. Depending on how this year goes and the next year, we'll see where my path leads me. But I want to be building the next generation of cars for the next generation of Americans who are going to be on the road. I want my name stamped on parts, and I want to make sure that my legacy lives on American roadways. And I want to be the point of contact. I'm hoping to become a manager of an assembly line or of a plant at some point. So that's kind of my pathway. And 10 years down the line, obviously there's personal goals such as wife, kids, dog, a yard full of junk cars. You know, you can ask my family. That's probably a future for me. But just be stable financially and have a great job and definitely have a rewarding aspect of it. My advice to the people who are watching this is you need to take your life seriously. After high school, stuff gets real and stuff will hit the fan. You need to, whatever you do, however, whatever life decision you do, you need to do it with 100% of your passion. If you do not do things with your passion, then your life will be meaningless. A lot of people skirt through their lives every day, but the people who put 100% of their effort in are the ones who you see on the news, the ones whose signatures decides if a car comes off the line or not. Who get called in to make important decisions. I wish for everybody to have that type of mentality. You need to go out there and work as hard as you can. Give 100% of your effort every single day. Definitely going into this industry, one very big important thing, or a couple things actually. One is your social media presence. If you think you're going to come down here, and I'll say this, a lot of people, might disagree with me, but recruiters for different companies will look at your social media account. Personally, I've had it happen to me where I've had recruiters from Ford, GM, Stellantis. They've looked at my account. They've asked me things, even stuff from when I was back in high school. Um, if you have a social media account of it's just you and your uh, grandma's Impala doing donuts in the East Park in the range, well, you better be ready to explain why you're doing that. If you're going out and partying every weekend and you got pictures of yourself holding things you shouldn't be holding, at that age, you know what I'm saying, right? You need to be ready to explain yourself. You need to have a very clean social media presence. And you also want to protect your reputation. When you get down here, or in my experience, right, at SIU, you're going to be competing with people. You have 300 other kids in the program gunning for the same interviews, the same jobs that you are. You need to find a way to differentiate yourself, become a leader, have a good reputation, be nice to people. You need to make sure that you are somebody people respect. And I can't be more serious about this. People who know me know I'm a fun-loving guy. However, I'm very serious when it comes to my reputation. I'm very serious about the advice I give. Um, I guess, be humble, go out, work as hard as you can. Don't leave anything out on the table. I guess I will close with this. Thank you for listening to my rant and everything. If you guys have any questions, please make sure you reach out to me. I will leave I'll leave my email, phone number. I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. I'm an open book. I'll shoot you straight. I'm not going to feed you a line of BS. Again, please contact me. I'm more than happy to kind of be an ambassador for SIU. And the auto technology program. And if you come down, ask me and I'd be happy to give you a tour. I'd like to thank Mrs. Swenson and Mr. Stryker for asking me to do this, and I'm very happy to help out anybody, because you know what, I am once a saint, always a saint. I'd be happy to help out wherever I can. If you guys have any questions, please email me, text me, reach out to me. Anyway, you guys have a nice day. Thanks for listening to me.